So today our class is on ISO settings. So last few classes we are discussing that there are three major parameters which is controlling our ultimate exposure that we want for a particular photo. So first is the aperture that we have already discussed. Second is shutter speed, and third one that we are discussing today is ISO. So what is ISO? ISO is nothing but it is the sensitivity of the sensor to the light. Right, I will just repeat, sensitivity of the sensor to the light. We'll understand that in detail what it is. For the time being, we'll just see how it is represented. It is represented like this: ISO 100, ISO 200, ISO 400, ISO 800, like that. Right? Like aperture is represented with f-stop, f1.8. Shutter speed is represented with a fraction of a second, like 1/200 of a second. ISO, how it is represented? Like this: ISO 100, ISO 200, 400, 800, like that. What is the significance? If the ISO is lower, we normally get a darker photo, whereas if the ISO is on the higher side, we get a brighter photo. See, ISO 100 photo is darker, ISO 200 photo is lighter or brighter now, ISO 400 photo is even brighter, and ISO 800 much more brighter than that ISO 400. Similarly, starting from ISO 100 to ISO 1600, if we observe, photos are growing brighter and brighter gradually. So this is what ISO does for us. It brightens the photo. We normally get brighter photo with the increase of ISO settings. So how we can use it? Let us say in a proper daylight, where there is no question of low light condition or there is no lack of proper lighting, we'll go for the lowest possible ISO, that is ISO 100, right? So for proper daylight, we'll go with the lowest possible ISO that our camera or phone is supporting. In case here it is ISO 100. Other way, where there is low light condition like this, we'll go for a higher ISO like ISO 1600, ISO 3200, or ISO 6400, whatever your phone is or phone or camera is allowing you to set. You go for the largest ISO possible. Is it so easy? Like proper lighting, lowest ISO, and where there is lack of lighting, you are going for the higher ISO. The answer is yes, very easy. That is the thumb rule. But there is a trade-off. What is the trade-off? If we observe this photo carefully, when the ISO is on the lower side, see, the photo is crystal clear. Left side of the screen, you can see the photo is crystal clear. Whereas for ISO, when the ISO is on the higher side, the photo is very grainy. These grains are called as noise. We can see it some other photo. See, for ISO 100, we are getting a very clean image. Left hand side of the screen, very clean. Particularly the sky, see, clear blue sky. Whereas in case of ISO 3200, that image that we are getting is very noisy. So what was the equation? When lighting was good, when lighting was perfect, we are going for the lowest possible ISO 100. But when the lighting is low, we are going for 3200. Equation looked to be very easy, but this noise is spoiling us. With the increase of this ISO number, there is one particular thing that is also increasing in the photo. What is that? This is called as noise. Is nothing but the grains that we observe when we take photo in the higher ISO or at night time or at low light condition. So there the challenge will come to the photographer. So it is up to the photographer to decide whether he or she will be going for the lowest possible ISO to get a cleaner image, or he will be going to the highest possible ISO like 6400 or 12800 to get a brighter photo, but at the cost of digital image quality. Like with higher ISO, we will have lots of noise and the image may not be usable at all. So depending upon the lighting situation, we may not be going for 100. We may not also be going for 6400 or something like that, but we will have to select between 100 and 1200, somewhere maybe 400 or 800 or 1600, where the exposure is proper, as well as the noise that we are getting in the photo or image is acceptable. Like for the purpose that we are taking the photo, that photo has to be usable. So that is a trade-off that the photographer has to face and he or she has to decide. So very small concept we have to understand, and the noise portion that we have to accept depending upon the type that we are using. Easier thing, how to set ISO for camera user, depending upon your manufacturer, whether it's Nikon camera or Canon camera or Sony camera, you will have specific option where you can set or select the ISO settings for the particular photo. If you are taking photo in auto mode, you will not be able to set ISO setting. I will repeat, if you are taking photo in auto mode, there will be no option to set the ISO for the camera or the photo. In case if you are taking photo other than auto mode, then every camera supports a mechanism to set ISO. So for Nikon camera, it is very easy. You just browse through the menu option where you get option to set ISO. For high-end camera, you get dedicated button. Like if you just click the button or you just rotate some dial, you will be able to change the ISO setting. These are screenshots from Nikon camera. For mobile user, most of the mobile, they support you to keep some option in the interface where you can change or set ISO directly. Like my camera, it is having a manual mode where I can change the ISO settings to either auto or something like 100 or something like 200, 400, something like that. Easy, right? So certain challenges that we were facing earlier, today we will be discussing how we can overcome those situations. Like Indu ma'am posted this photo in faster shutter speed assignment, and the photo was dark. Why it was dark? Because the shutter speed was even more than something like 1/250, but 1/300. So because photo is taken or the sensor is exposed for a fraction of a second, the amount of light that is captured was very less. How to get a proper exposure in this? First, we have to decide what is our optimum shutter speed. Let us say 1/250th of a second. So that is fixed, that is required for getting the fan in a proper shape. So that setting we cannot change. What we can change? Aperture, we can try what is the biggest possible aperture my camera or phone is supporting. That I can set. If after setting that also, if I am getting a photo which is darker, then what setting we have to change? We have to change something called ISO that we have discussed. What we have to do? We have to go for higher ISO. Like first I will try with 100, not working, getting darker photo. I will try with 200, not working, 400, 800, 1600. So this experiment we have to do so that we get a photo with proper exposure and with minimum ISO, using which we are getting the proper exposure, right? Something like that we get. Maybe shutter speed was less, but we can change it to something like 1/250 of a second or 500, then aperture to the maximum possible, and then ISO on the higher side, something like 1600, something like 800, something like 3200 will do for us. Like this photo also we discussed. If we want to get a photo like this, so our shutter speed will be something like 1 by 1600 of a second. Then we have to experiment with the aperture. What is the maximum supported aperture for our camera or our lens that we are using? Once that is also set to the maximum, we have to experiment with the minimum possible ISO. Like we'll try with 800. If we are getting darker photo, we'll try it with 1600. Still darker photo, 3200. So depending upon the exposure that we are achieving, we have to experiment with ISO, right? This photo also we were discussing, Prisha was asking something like when we are taking some landscape photography where this depth of field is required, something like f22, f16. So in that case also photo will be darker. So there two options are there. You went to field, you want to take some landscape, something like f22, f16, f12 if you are using. So first you have to visualize what is the acceptable aperture to you. Let us say with f22 everything will be in focus, but with f16 also things will be in focus. Then we can try for f16. In case we can even try for smaller, something like f12 or something. So we have to decide what is the aperture, what is the minimum aperture for us. So let us say it is f16. Then f16 is fixed. Then two situations can come. Either you are having a tripod or you are not having a tripod. Let us say you are having a tripod. So once the tripod is there with you, situation is very easy. Aperture is f16. Shutter speed is required 3 seconds. You put your camera on the tripod. After 3 seconds, you will get a photo with proper exposure. So you can have the minimum possible ISO for your photo. In case if you don't have a tripod, what will happen? F16. Now with hand, if you try to take a photo, something like 1 by 5 of a second or 1 by 8 of a second, handset blur will come. So for that purpose, you have to take photo with at least shutter speed of 1 by 60th of a second, but or 1 by 80th of a second. So in that case, let us say f16 and shutter speed is something like 1 by 80th of a second, you get darker photo. So what you do, you experiment with ISO, something like f16, then shutter speed is something like 1 by 60th of a second or 1 by 80th of a second. Then ISO you will be trying with something like 800 or 1600 or 3200, right? So in this way you get proper exposure, something like this. Like if we keep all other settings intact, let us say with f22 we are getting a darker photo, we can try with f16. Forget about this f4, let us say f16. But with f16 also, if we are getting a darker photo, we can experiment with shutter speed, something like 1 by 60th of a second. After that also, if we are getting a darker photo, what we'll do, we'll experiment with ISO setting, something like 800 first, then 1600, then 3200, depending upon the exposure that we are actually getting in the field. So this is a very similar situation where light is considerably low. You have gone to shoot this. First you decide your aperture, whatever you prefer, f22, f16, f12, f8. First you zero down to that. After that, whether you are having tripod, it's very easy. Go for the lowest possible ISO and shutter speed, whatever you prefer, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. There is no handshake blur. You get perfect exposure. In case you don't have tripod, you fix the shutter speed where handshake blur node will be there, something like 1 by 60 of a second, 1 by 80 of a second. Then you experiment with ISO like ISO 400, ISO 800, ISO 1600, ISO 3200. Fine. So very easy. In case whatever you have done, all have failed and you have just managed to take a photo, the photo is fine, but it is having lots of noise like this. There are softwares like Lightroom, Adobe Photoshop, or even freeware like GIMP software is there, where beautiful algorithms are there, which you can apply to reduce or remove digital noise from your photo. So that we'll be discussing when we'll be discussing basics of photo editing. In that class, we'll be discussing in details how to remove this type of digital noise from your photo, right? So I'll do a very quick recap. Three parameters are controlling our ultimate exposure. Those are aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. What is ISO? Sensitivity of the sensor to the light, represented like this: ISO 100, 200, 400, 800. With lower ISO, we get a photo which is darker in nature. With higher ISO, we get a photo which is brighter in nature. So in case there is lack of light, we'll go for higher ISO like 1600. In case lighting is proper, we'll go with lower ISO like ISO 100. Why? Because lower ISO gives us cleaner image. So possible lowest ISO we have to select always. For proper daylight, we go for lowest possible ISO like ISO 100. When lighting is less, we go for highest possible accepted ISO level like 1600, 3200. What is the trade-off? Lots of noise. So we have to decide between the exposure that we want and the amount of noise that is acceptable to us. Rest of the things we have to experiment, and whatever result we are getting, based on that we have to select our aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. So as usual, we have a small assignment for this. Assignment 8, just we have to post a photo to depict the use of higher ISO to get proper exposure. Just higher ISO you have to use to get proper photo. You can try to take some photo in the dark room, dark park, whatever you prefer. Do not forget to mention the ISO setting that you are using in this particular photo. So this was from my side. If you are having any doubt, you can raise your hand. I'll be answering, else I will be finishing off this class. I'll be waiting for your doubts if you are having anything. So Prisa was having some doubts regarding bird photography and as well as the aperture also. I think both of them I have explained. In case anyone else is having any other doubt, I'm ready to answer. Indu madam, you can unmute yourself and you can ask.
So for slow shutter speed, we have taken. You told to keep this for phone for 3 seconds, and after you have to take the photo for long visions and all.
Yes, for long exposure.
Can you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I'm getting.
For long exposure. In the mobile, can I take that? I could not take the photo. That's why I did send assignment also.
Ma'am, unfortunately, your mobile may not have option to set for long exposure. So what you can do, you can search if in your mobile you can directly set shutter speed. This is the first thing you can try, whether there is option to set shutter speed. In case the option is no, means you cannot directly set long exposure or shutter speed, then what you can do, there will be night mode. So you can try to take a photo using night mode, but there the phone will take some time. So in that time, if you hold the phone with your hand, you get handshake blur. So what you can do, you can just stabilize your phone with the help of a tripod or tabletop or some other thing, and you can take the photo. So in that way, not directly you can do that, but indirect way, by using night mode, you can try to achieve what you are going to achieve here. Right, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Okay, fine then. I'll be just ending this meeting. I'll be posting the assignment in the particular group, and text-based class also will be there. Anyone other than ISO, if anyone want to ask anything, you can just let me know, because we are having some time today.
Hello, sir. Subhankar here.
Yeah, Subhankar, please.
Sir, I have a question. Last assignment, you told us to take a picture with a higher shutter speed and slower shutter speed. I tried to capture photo with a slower shutter speed with long exposure, but there is a lot of difficulty came with the mobile. Sir, actually, I try my best to capture, but trails of light like bike and car are traveling, and I want to take it, but there is a lot of light from one direction is coming. How to control it, sir? Because it's not bit a lot of difficult to control that light.
See, there are two things, two way you can control it. First is the, now that we have discussed about ISO, the lowest possible ISO you can select, right? Like ISO 100. So with
Yes,
ISO
I
100,
already select ISO 100.
so with ISO 100, and then what you can do, like whatever shutter speed you have selected, now let us say you have selected with 5 seconds.
Yes, sir.
Until light is more, then you
Yes,
can
sir.
change the shutter speed to, let us say, 2 seconds. So if your exposure is fine, your objective is solved. In case 2 seconds is not giving you the proper result, like if you want the exposure to be more than 5 seconds or 5 seconds, something like that, then aperture is there. So in that case, bigger aperture will give you more light. So you have to go for lower aperture, like something like f8. If it is more light is coming, then go for f12. If still more light is there, then you go for f16, something like that. Like you are having 3 parameters. With 3 parameters only you have to manage, right? There is
Yes,
no
sir.
other way. There
So
is,
I was using f30 aperture.
see, with f30 and with
Yes,
ISO
sir.
100, there is no other parameter but to reduce the shutter speed.
Light.
With 5
Okay.
seconds, if it
Shutter.
is more, then you have to go for 4 seconds or 3 seconds.
Okay,
And
sir.
3 more things are there, Suvankar, which are controlling exposure. Like we have discussed 3 things: aperture, shutter speed, as well as ISO. 3 more parameter is there. One is metering.
Okay, sir.
Next one is exposure compensation, and third one, and the most obvious, is editing, Photoshop.
Editing. Yes, sir.
In case
Yes, sir.
all the things, all the knowledge that you had, you have applied, all the parameters that you have had, you have used it, and still if you are getting a photo which is underexposed, overexposed, and with the help of
Yes, sir.
exposure metering or exposure compensation also, if you cannot control it, you control it
Yes, sir.
using Photoshop. But that,
Okay, sir.
at our initial stages, we need not be much dependent on Photoshop or photo processing software.
Yes, sir.
It can be controlled in a better way when we are learning exposure metering. Exposure metering is there. Chapter 1.9 is there, metering. Like I have seen whatever
Okay,
photo
sir.
you are telling, na, majority of the
Yes,
photo, the brightness is fine, exposure is fine.
So may I post that overexposed photo in that group so I can?
You can post it. You can post it. Not an issue. You can post it.
Okay.
We all will have a view on that, right?
Okay, sir.
But
Okay.
as I am telling, with this 3 parameter, if you cannot control the exposure, there is a 4th parameter called exposure metering, and there is a 5th parameter called exposure compensation. With that, you will be able to control, but we will be discussing later on.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
And those things will help
Thank you, sir.
if you are having a camera, because most of the mobile, na, they don't give you option to set exposure compensation.
Yes, sir. Of course. Exposure compensation is not in my phone. Yes, sir.
So, like your for that photo, what was the problem? Overall exposure is fine, but there are few points or few area where exposure is out of control. So those situations,
Out of control. Yes, sir.
so those situations cannot be managed with the help of aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. So
yes, sir.
in that case, 2 parameters will be vital. One is exposure metering, and second is exposure compensation.
Exposure compensation. Yes, sir. Because when I'm taking that photo, there is a two side of the road. From one side the car is going on, and the next one is car is coming on. So on the next side where the car is coming on, there is a lot of light from the headlights are coming, and
True.
I can't control it because I
True.
don't know why. I already said that. Yes, sir.
Yes. It is good that you have asked
Okay,
this
sir.
question in this class itself, because it is very relevant and we will discuss in detail. But what I suggest,
Yes, sir.
depending upon the situation, certain situation cannot be managed. See, let us say if you're taking a photo and from opposite side some lorry is coming with its headlight on.
Yes, sir.
No photographer can control
Yes,
that
sir.
type of situation, right? So
Yes, sir.
we
Yes.
have to deal with it. We have to, like,
Yes, sir.
if the situation is not arising, we are getting a good photo. If the situation is arising, we may not get a good photo.
Yes, sir. I saw a lot of photographer don't go in between the roads. They actually goes to upper ground from the road, so that the deeper of the headlight or something is goes under that road. मतलब रास्ते पे ही पड़ता है. ऊपर से वो ड्रोन शॉट लेते हैं या फिर कहीं हाइट पे लेते हैं फोटो, तो फिर वो
So that those
controlled
light
रहता है.
will not come directly into the camera.
Directly into the camera.
And if you
Okay, sir.
remember,
Yes, sir.
Anirban posted one photo with his headphone pouch, like something like some
Yes,
white tabletop was there, in that black pouch was there. So those type of
Yes, sir.
situation, those type of situation also cannot be controlled with the help of these three parameters: exposure,
These three
aperture,
parameters. Yes, sir.
ISO.
ISO.
With,
Yes, sir.
with that, it cannot be controlled. It can only be controlled with help of exposure metering and exposure
Exposure
compensation.
metering or compensation. Okay,
Yes.
sir.
So we'll be discussing that in detail. For the time being, majority of the problem will be solved for getting a proper exposure.
Okay,
For
sir.
localized exposure control, like that you are facing, or Anirban that you faced. So for those things, we have to learn exposure metering and exposure compensation, that we'll be doing in chapter 1.9.
Okay, sir.
Fine, Shubhankar. Is there anyone else
Yes, sir.
who wants to ask anything?
Thank you, sir.
Done. Fine then, good night. I will post this assignment to the group.
Good night, sir. Good night.